Hello my fiery friends, welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, or afternoon, or wherever you may be, wherever you are at. So, we're now hitting the weekend of course, and we're of course doing our deep dive into the Marvel set, and again, not really too fond of it, but you know what, that doesn't mean we can't have fun with it, and I think today's deck is going to actually hit the spot just right. So, what exactly are we going to be playing with today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So let's just jump into right now and show you exactly what we're going to be rocking with today. Alright, so without further ado, join me today in the Brawl format, as also now we have ranked Brawl to worry about. Well, actually we'll worry about that in a little bit, but this is going to be a deck that is simply called I Love Squirrels. So yeah, that's going to be rocking the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, mono green squirrels. Let's see if we can actually make this work today. Alright, so game plan as always, we're going to go over the deck real quick, the stats of it, we'll talk about every single card in it, and then of course we'll play as many matches as we can in the Brawl format. I think we might do it a little bit differently. We're going to try something else today. We're going to try the budget one in non-ranked first. However, once we upgrade the deck halfway through the stream, then we'll take it into actual proper ranked Brawl to see how well it can actually do against other decks in the format. So let's go ahead, let's talk about the stats of the deck first off, because longtime viewers of the channel know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our Squirrel deck today is going to be, again, as I mentioned, mono green, and it's going to be an average mana curve of about 2.5. In total, we have 24 creatures in the deck. We have 8 instants, 8 sorceries, 7 artifacts, 12 enchantments, a single planeswalker, and 41 lands. So, as we mentioned earlier, this is the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. She is a legendary creature, squirrel, human hero. That's a 4/4, and she actually asks for the first part. Do you like squirrels? Whenever that means she enters or attacks, you get to create a squirrel token here. However, if you love squirrels, her secondary ability also can make her go possibly pseudo-infinite, and I'll explain how we can do that in a little bit. But for 4 mana, you create X amount of 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens, where X is the number of squirrels you control. So this can pretty much go out of control and super crazy if you can manage to get just enough mana to make it work. But in order to make that work, let's go over the stats, the actual main part of the deck itself. So, in the 1-drop slot here, we have Chatter the Squirrel to start off our squirrel game plan. For a sorcery, this creates for us 1 token, and then we can flash it back for an additional 2 to make another squirrel token. Go Forth here allows us to instant speed to pull out a basic land and put it into our hand, or it gives one of our creatures a +2/+2 pump until end of turn. Many Partings here allows us to dig out our basic land and also creates a food token. So the food tokens actually is going to be a pseudo secondary part of the deck that we'll talk about a little bit later on. Squirrel Sanctuary here. When this enchantment enters, create a squirrel creature token. However, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, pay 1 and you can bounce back the enchantment to your hand to then recast for more squirrels. Tameo Safekeeping is going to be an instant speed way to protect anything that we have, whether it's again our Squirrel Girl or any other critical squirrels we need to keep, and also we can gain 2 life. Thirsting Roots here at sorcery speed allows us to dig out a basic land, or we can start proliferating however we need to at any point in the game. Vastwood Fortification here puts a ++1 counter on a creature, or just use it as a tap land. In the 2-drop slot here, we have Bane's... I'm sorry, wait, hold on. I can say this correctly here. Hold on. Okay, Baker's Bane Duo. Okay, see, words are hard. So, this is a Squirrel Raccoon. When it enters, creates a food token. Whenever you expend 4, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. In other words, that means as long as we've spent 4 total mana, we can create a food token. Bushy Bodyguard here has the offspring mechanic, so that means when you enter, you can forage, and if you do, put 2 ++1 counters on it. With the Bushy Bodyguard, if you do forage, what that means is you can either exile 3 cards from your graveyard or sacrifice a food in order to trigger its ability. Chatter Storm here is going to be one of our cool little combo effects here, which allows us to create 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens, but also has the storm mechanics. That means for every other spell we cast before it, we can start copying this to make even more squirrels and hopefully just go super duper wide. Cache Grab here allows us to mill 4 cards. Put a permanent card from among those cards that were milled into your hand. If you control a squirrel, which we have plenty of, we can create a food token on top of that. So it helps us just dig through our deck to get something we may need. Frog Squirrels, simple little frog squirrel, and also as you can kind of see here, mono green means we're a little more limited on squirrels, so we're just digging deep for whatever we can scrounge up. So in this case here, from the Avatar set, it's literally just a frog squirrel for 2/2, but it has reach, so good for blocking. Guardian Gladewalker here is an honorary squirrel because it has changeling, and when it enters, put a ++1 counter on a target creature. Kenner's Transformation, because we're a mono green, we don't have too many removal options. So this is going to be one of our ways we can lock out one of our opponent's planeswalkers and turn them into just a 3/3 elk. If nothing else, it just prevents them from doing their thing. So hopefully this can help us out. Leaves from the Vines here is going to be a Saga. Part 1 allows you to mill 3 cards, creates a food token. Part 2 puts a +++ counter on 2 target creatures. And then Part 3, if we have a lesson card in the graveyard, allows us to draw a card. Mass Vandal here is also one of our honorary squirrels. It has Changeling. When it enters, exile a creature from your graveyard, and if you do, you can exile an artifact or an enchantment an opponent controls. So good for us to just get rid of certain things that have like indestructible, like say, I don't know, the One Ring. So that can help us out. Ordeal of Nylea here has an aura with an enchant creature. When we add it to a creature and they attack, put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. Once we have 3 or more counters on it, sacrifice the aura, and then take out 2 basic lands tapped. So they can help us with ramping at any point in the game. Origin of Metal Bending here is an artifact or enchantment hate lesson, or put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and give it indestructible until end of turn. Ram Through is again one of our small options here we can use for pseudo spot removal here. Target creature we control deals damage equal to its power to target creature we don't control. If the creature has trample, we can deal that much damage to each creature's controller instead. So of course it just helps us just get rid of things at instant speed. Although I guess maybe, well, we don't have too many trampling things. Maybe this might be better with something else. I don't know. We'll talk about this a little bit later on. Rampant Growth here allows us to dig out a basic land and put it onto the field. So we have a couple of ways we can do some ramping in the 2-drop slots. So cards like this. What else does this for us? Oh yeah, Shattered Roots also does the same thing. So we have these just to help us again dig out some basics. We'll have Ride the Shoe Puff here. So we do have Landfall here. With this, it puts +1/+1 counters on creatures we control as long as we have plenty of lands. We have 41 lands in the deck as it is, so that should be plenty of options and time for us to start pumping up our creatures. Scurrid Colony here is a cute little squirrel with reach, and it says as long as we have 8 or more lands, it gets an extra +2/+2 pump. Song of Freyalise here is actually one of our few ways we can give all of our creatures the Mana Dork ability for the first 2 parts of this saga, and part 3 allows us to put +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures. Then they gain Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible until end of turn. Not too bad for, again, a budget little option here, but the real reason why you want this is if you have already enough squirrels out and you could tap them for mana, then the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl also can then turn them into Mana Dorks. We can then have her ability trigger off, and we can go super duper wide very quickly if we have just enough for that to work. Spider Ham / Peter Porker here. Spider Board Hero, when it enters, creates a food token, and it basically means that other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, rats, squirrels, turtles, and wolves you control. Shout out for being pull off that. Gives them all +1/+1. So basically, it's just a giant anthem effect for our whole team. Squirrel Sovereign here gives all of our squirrels +1/+1, so that's a cute, nice little pump for as well. Thorn Vault Forager here, 2 mana, allows us to then tap for green mana. We can forage and then add 2 mana of any color combination, and then for 4 mana, we can use it to dig out any squirrel we want and put it into our hand, and then shuffle our library. Trail of Crumbs here, when it enters, creates food tokens. Every time we sacrifice foods, we can pay 1, and if we do, look at the top 2 cards of our library, put a permanent into our hand, and put the other card into the bottom of our library. So it helps us again dig through our deck to get our answers out. Verdant Command here allows us at instant speed to pick 2 things. Either create 2 tapped squirrel tokens, remove 2 loyalty abilities of a planeswalker, or actually counter loyalty abilities of a planeswalker, so that actually is very niche, but it actually can be helpful in a pinch. Exile a target card from a graveyard for graveyard hate, or just gain some life. We have Welcome to Sweet Tooth here, so it creates for us a human token for part 1. Part 2, create a food token, and then part 3, put X +1/+1 counters on a creature we control, where X is the number of foods we control. So this is again where you're kind of starting to see now where the food strategy comes into play. We have a lot of foraging options for us, or just use the food if you need to just pump up your other creatures, or just again just use it for life gain for stabilizing. We also have Swiftfoot Boots here. This is mostly just to protect the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, so she could truly be unbeatable, or at least can't be touched as long as this has hexproof and haste on her. And then going into the 3-drop slot. Ball Again Recovery, another great option for mono green decks. You can either be a tap land or use it to bring back any target from your graveyard to your hand. Chitter Spitter here. This one's going to be a little bit more of a trickier option for us, but it can help us out if you know how to budget your squirrel tokens. So at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a token. If you do, put an acorn counter on it, and that gives all of your squirrels you control an extra +1/+1 pump for each acorn counter on this artifact. And of course, you could use it to just start churning out a bunch of squirrel creature tokens. Chopping Changeling here, again, an honorary squirrel because this is Changeling. So this means this can be a squirrel for us. When it enters, use it for artifact and enchantment hate. Curious Forager here is a squirrel druid. When you enter, forage with it. And if you do, bring back a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So another great way to bring back extra cards we can use. Earthbender Ascension here, while not necessarily a squirrel or a part of the squirrel package, it does have landfall, and this can be helpful for certain situations. When this enchantment enters, Earthbend 2, dig out a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then with the landfall ability, whenever a land we control enters, put a quest counter on it. Once we have 4 more quest counters on this, start putting +1/+1 counters on a creature we control, and it gains trample until end of turn, so it can help us push out more damage. We have Harrow here as our best option for sacrificing a land to dig out 2 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield. Keep in mind, they do not have to worry about being tapped, so they can enter untapped, and this means we can use some shenanigans with this, which can be really good for us. Heaped Harvest here is another one of our food artifacts here, so this helps us dig out a basic land, put it onto the battlefield. If you do sacrifice this, they can get another land on top of that, so this can be good with the Forge mechanic or just sacrificing it just for value. Honored Dray Leader, here's a 3-mana 1/1 Squirrel Warrior with Trample. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each other squirrel and or food we control. So this can be a great way to, again, give our whole team pump. And when another squirrel or food you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, so he will get bigger and bigger as the game progresses. Realm Walker here. Another one of our changeling that's an honorary squirrel. Of course, we're going to name squirrel, and that means we can look at the top card of our library at any time. And we can cast creature spells of the chosen type, which is squirrels, from the top of our library. So it helps us just churn through our deck and quickly get out more squirrels as we keep playing. Retreat to Kazandu here is going to be similar to the Ride the Shoe Puff here. It has landfall, so that means we can put +1/+1 counters on a creature, or you can use it to gain some life back. Scurry Oak here, so with the counters we keep adding to our creatures, this can help us churn out a ton of squirrels as well with the Evolve ability. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on this creature, make that many squirrel creature tokens, so we could go wide with this very quickly. Spider Food here is going to be for artifact or enchantment heat, and destroy a creature with flying, and then create a food token however we want to use it. Supportive Parents here, so again, this is not a squirrel, but if you saw my if you saw earlier this week, we did put out a short, and that short pretty much allows us to explain how this card works. So if we have at least 8 creatures out, then Supportive Parents basically allows the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl to go infinite. And I actually do mean that. So Human Citizen, tap 2 untapped creatures you control, add 1 mana of any color. So in other words, if we, let me see, we do the math for a second here, doing the math. So that means, again, 8 creatures out, so it can be Supportive Parents and at least 7 squirrels. Then that means you could tap them to get 4 mana. For that, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl then creates 7, at least, I would say, yeah, 7 extra squirrels. But with those, or I say, well, it should be at least 8 squirrels, but the reason why is, again, by tapping them, you get enough mana to create, again, another loop of this, and it goes over and over again until basically you can max out on what you have. So that is the dream, of course, if you can get Supportive Parents to help us, I guess you could say, support our game plan. Yeah? Yeah? Thank you. Okay. All right, so moving on there, we have Trickster's Elk. So this is similar to, again, our other option where we, what was it? What card was that? Oh yeah, Kenra's Transformation. So similar to that, you bestow this elk onto another creature to make it lose all abilities. So this, again, is kind of like pseudo spot rule, I guess you could say. Yeah, kind of like that. Squirrel Mob here, 3 mana, 2/2. This squirrel will get +1/+1 for each other squirrel left on the battlefield. So this would be a huge squirrel if we have a lot of them out. Bloodline Pretender here is going to be a 3 mana shapeshifter, so it's a changeling. Again, another honorary squirrel. Name squirrels will, of course, as it enters, and whenever another creature we control of the chosen type enters, gets +1/+1 counters on it, so it gets bigger and bigger as the game progresses. Changeling Wayfinder here, another honorary squirrel. When this enters, dig out a basic land and put it into your hand, so it can help us with ramping. Furdok Core here is going to be one of our, well, it's kind of an awkward artifact here. So it's a Kindred artifact shapeshifter, but it does have Changeling. So it's not technically a creature, at least not yet, but you could turn it into a creature for 4 mana if you wanted to. So this can, again, just help us with our squirrel count. Heraldic Banner and Patchwork Banner are perfect for our deck here. With the Heraldic Banner, you choose a color and then give all of your creatures of the chosen type +1/+0. So since we're mono green, this is great for mono-colored decks. For Patchwork Banner specifically, we are also a squirrel deck specifically, so this can give us an extra +1/+1 pump as we, of course, name squirrels themselves. In the 4-drop slot here, we have Knight of Sweet's Revenge. So we don't have too many food cards in the deck, but we have just enough where this actually can help us out with ramping, turning all of our food into dorks. And of course, you can sacrifice this for 7 mana to give all of our creatures an extra +X pump, where X is the number of foods we control. You can only do that at sorcery speed, but sometimes this, with enough squirrels out, should be able to overwhelm your opponent and get your victory. Toski, Bearer of Secrets, we have to, of course, put in this little squirrel himself. He can't be countered, and he's indestructible. Every time Toski has to attack, I should say, hold on, let me rephrase that. Toski, of course, has to attack no matter what, so you can't just say no to that. However, if you deal combat damage to a player, you can start drawing cards. And again, this means he doesn't have to specifically attack himself. I'm sorry. Wait, I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Okay, so Toski doesn't actually have to do the combat damage to trigger off that ability. Any one of your squirrels can get this. And of course, if you do more damage with each individual creature, you can draw a ton of cards and refill your hand with Toski. So really cool for the deck and really helps us out here. Treetop Sentries here, 4 mana Squirrel Archer with Reach. When this creature enters, forage, and if you do, just draw another card. Squirrel Wrangler here is a human druid again, not a specific squirrel himself, but he can generate a ton of squirrels. Sacrifice a land to create 2 squirrel creature tokens, or sacrifice a land to give all of your creatures +1/+1 until end of turn. Vivian Arcbow Ranger here is our only planeswalker in the deck, and of course she helps us out here, although her -5 ability, you're never probably going to need that, because again, this is a budget Brawl deck, and also budget Brawl decks can't let you dig outside the game. But for -3, you can deal damage equal to its power of 1 creature you control to another creature or planeswalker an opponent has. +1 it to take up and then add 2 +1/+1 counters to other 2 target creatures, and they both gain trample until end of turn. In the 5-drop slot, finally, we have Webweaver Changeling here, another Changeling. This is an honorary squirrel. He has Reach, and of course, when this creature enters, if there are 3 more creature cards in the graveyard, gain 5 life. And then finally, Rooftop Purger, which is also a Changeling, but it's actually colorless. So again, with this, when it enters, exile 2 target cards from any graveyard to gain 3 life. Finally, to wrap it up here, we are a budget deck, so we're going to keep this as simple as possible. Only 38 forests, 1 Oak Hollow Village, which allows it to tap to then add mana of the creature itself. I'm sorry, so you can only use that for creature spells, but again, we're mostly squirrels anyway. And then for the 1 green mana and tapping this puts +1/+1 counters on each frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel we control that entered the battlefield. So if we get a ton of these tokens to go off here, and this can also go off as well, you can make a ton of very powerful squirrels very quickly. And then finally, we have Arid Archway to bounce back, and then this can be tapped for 2 generic mana. And then finally, we have Swarm Yard here. So this can help us regenerate an insect, rat, squirrel, or spider creature. For those that don't know, Regenerate's an old school ability. I'm actually surprised that Arena actually has this, but it actually does go well with our deck. So what Regenerate basically means is if a creature regenerates, the next time that would turn, it would be destroyed. Instead, tap it and remove it for combat and heal all damage on it. So this can be a great way to kind of protect certain things we have, although it is a little tricky to use depending on however you need it. But otherwise, that is our whole deck, everybody. That is all of our squirrels, all in mono green. So mostly squirrels now tend to be Golgari colors of black and green, but let's see, do we have just enough squirrels in Arena where we can actually play in the Brawl format mono green squirrels? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's go ahead, let's take this into at least for casual Brawl for now, but we will be playing ranked Brawl with the upgraded version in a little bit. So hang in there, everybody. It's going to be happening in just a few moments. But for now, let's go ahead, let's get this started. All right. So let's see. First opponent here, our Squirrel Girl deck versus Katara the Fearless from Avatar. All right. Okay. Ooh, there we go. Okay, we got support appearance in the hand here, so we just need all the squirrels we can, and we can go infinite with this. So this is actually pretty good for us. We'll keep this hand. Whew, okay, Mass Vandal. Okay, that's pretty good too. So for now, let's play our forest and pass. Okay. So now we're actually finally in the game, everyone. Appreciate you guys all hanging in there for what we just did. But the question I want to ask right now is, how's everyone's weekend been so far? Hopefully all have been having a good time. And then let me know if you've actually all been playing with the Marvel cards. Is there any deck that you've actually been interested in doing, but not quite sure yet? Let me know in the comments below, everyone. Love to hear from you. Okay, so if they're playing Katara, that means it's going to be all allies. If a triggered ability of an ally control and triggers, you basically get a secondary trigger. Very powerful. We actually never got to play a Katara deck when we played Avatar. We might actually circle back to that at some point during the summer. We'll see. Go down to 24. All right, so with that, let's see what we have here. Death by Vulture. Hello, my fire friend. Good morning, and how you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. I love this deck, man. I can't wait to try it. Oh, okay, so I guess you could say you also love squirrels. Okay. So with that, I'm going to take a chance now. We'll put out Squirrel Girl herself. Let's start making our squirrels. All right, so let's see. Dense Planet, I have arrived. You have arrived, my fire friend, and good morning. How you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us. All right, so they're going to be earthbending. Alright. So they get 2 counters on it. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so with that, let's play our Swarm Yard now. Let's see. What do we want to do for now? I guess we'll play Bloodline Pretender. And then we'll, of course, name Squirrels. Where are we at? There we go. Okay. Daniel, hello, my fire friend. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and thanks again for joining us. So, you are here for us to see us if squirrels can go off and do their thing. Okay, so from there, no attacks yet. I want to make sure we have still enough squirrels where we can pull off the shenanigans we're about to do right now. So once we get supportive parents on the field, it's going to be squirrels for days. I hope this does work. Okay. As long as our opponent doesn't have removal, we should be able to go super crazy here. Okay. They Earthbend. Yep. And Earthbend. So go ahead, opponent. Yeah, go ahead. Keep getting a bigger land creature. No big deal for us. We'll take the hit, of course. Okay. Let's see. Can we do this? Okay, so we do have a little bit of protection with Cameo Safekeeping. So can we pull this off here now? Support appearance. Okay, so there we go. Tap, tap. All right, I think we might be able to pull this off here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna swing here. Make another squirrel. Okay, nothing opponent. All right. Okay. I'm gonna keep. We won't tap all the squirrels just yet. I'm tempted to, but we still need a little bit more. The magic number here is 8. But we're gonna keep these open just so that way we can get Tameo Safekeeping up in case if our opponent tries to pull off anything. Do we get to untap? At that point, okay. Now we're gonna win here. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is where the fun begins, everyone. So let's see. Let's get in. What do we want to do? Okay. Actually, we'll just go nuts here. Literally, we're gonna go nuts. 9 squirrels. Okay, there's our squirrels. Okay, Bloodline Pretender is gonna go super huge here. Okay, Dead Splendid. I have passed the theory exam on driving today. Soon I'm gonna get practice. Nice. Happy for you, man. Hopefully it all works out for you. Okay, so best of luck to you, and of course I'm rooting for you. Okay, where was I at? Okay, we're about to do this. Okay, let's do this. All right, going infinite. 1, 2. We're gonna make 18 squirrels now. Oh my god, this is gonna get so crazy here. Okay, opponents. I don't know if you're gonna be able to stop us here, but okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So basically, as long as we can keep tapping with squirrels here, we can go infinite. Look at all the squirrels we get. Okay, even if our opponent beats us here, like, this alone, of course, is hilarious. You gotta admit, this is fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, I know Arena's probably gonna start forcing me to finish my state-based action in a second here. So let's go. Okay. Okay. 3, 4. Okay. MTG Hillbilly, hello, my fire friend. Good morning today. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Thanks again for joining us. Why no enduring creatures to turn all your creatures to mana? Good question. Well, I mean, we have support appearance, so I mean that alone is enough for us. So as you can see, we pretty much have gone infinite. Okay. At this point, okay. Now Arena's like getting like huffy now because we're taking too long here. Okay. I'm surprised our opponent is letting us go off here. So I'm guessing either they have a Wrath or they're just trying to see how our combo goes before we finish up here. But this now should max us out on tokens. Okay. Look at that. Bloodline Pretender's like massive. Oh, if I only had Trample. I realize now that's probably the only weakness of the deck is I didn't put in anything that had Trample. Okay, I think it's big enough. Okay, let's do this. All right, so, swing with our 6 squirrels and a Bloodline Pretender? This is crazy. Okay. Opponent, okay, it's your turn, opponent. Do you take the hit? Okay. So, opponents, do they have an option? Oh, they do have an option. Okay, okay. Airbending lesson. So from here, tap 2 more squirrels. So now you have to block that, opponents. Do they do it? I'm guessing. Okay, so they block with the fortune teller. Okay, that's fine. I mean, sure, go ahead, block all our little squirrels. So now, in hindsight, I realize, yes, I'm missing probably one essential thing in order to make sure this deck actually could do its thing, which is we need something with trample. Okay, so they're sacrificing clue tokens, I'm guessing out of desperation. Okay. Okay, so we definitely have all the squirrels we need. If we untap next turn, it's basically game. And there you go. We did it! Our squirrels! Oh, I love squirrels. Woo! 200 and something squirrels, and we just, that was just hilarious. Okay, so there you go, everyone. That was a perfect example of what the deck is trying to do. Just once you can untap there, you basically can win. Unless if your opponent has any kind of spot removal or any kind of destruction, you get the win there very easily. So no problem there. Daniel, I cast Ender of Bloodlines. Still a nice deck. Thanks, though. Appreciate that. I mean, granted, again, keep in mind this is for the first part of the stream, as always. We build a budget version, so those of you that want to play this kind of silliness, keep in mind, again, it's going to be, it'll be affordable. I can assure you that. I always try to make sure the deck is affordable if you guys do like the deck. But don't worry, we can go super, super nutty, if you will. You gotta throw out those nut puns. But yeah, if you want to go crazier with the deck, don't worry. When we get to the upgraded version of the deck, we can show you again how you can really, really go super crazy and have multiple ways to get to the combo. All right. So let's see. Waiting for our next opponent here. We should be able to then get a couple more wins here, hopefully with this version of the deck. And then we could show you some crazier stuff. But while we're waiting for our next opponent to show up, so my other question I want to ask everyone is, so now that we have had Marvel for a couple of days now and the dust has settled, what are your thoughts overall? Even if you were like me, we're not too fond of Marvel superheroes in Magic, but at least it feels better than just a pure Spider-Man set. That was a little meh. So far, this hasn't been actually too bad. My only issue I've been running into is there's just too many legendaries. And for a person that likes to build 60 cards like I do, man, it just feels a little rough to actually build decks. I don't want to have to do the entire season on just Brawl decks, because I do want to do actually some fun stuff in 60 card decks for like Standard and Pioneer. So we definitely have some decks that we can build around that focus on that aspect, but it's going to be a little tough. We'll still see how we can make it work. But let me know, everyone, how's your deck building been going so far with the set, everybody? Have you all been having fun with building decks so far with Marvel? Has it been actually a little tougher for you? Have you not been enjoying it as much as you thought you would? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. So for now, mini party to make our food token. Opponent's playing with now Cosmic Spider-Man. So if you forgot, I think this was an Omen Pass, this was the Spider. But now that we actually have proper Spider-Man, I guess now I don't have to worry about remembering every single version of the alt cards, which is not too bad, right? Bane's. Baker's Bane duo. So more food. Okay. So if our opponent is playing 5-color, we're either going to get steamrolled or we can win very easily. There's like no in-between when it comes to food decks. Okay, for now, welcome to Sweet Tooth. Might as well make our food. Okay, opponents. What you got? Daniel, I haven't opened any of the set yet. Okay. Were you planning on buying it anytime soon, or still on the fence about it, or are you waiting for singles to drop in price? I had an option yesterday, because Mrs. Inferno and I were in, we're local to, like, the Disneyland area, for those that don't know. How they like the bolted it. So, there is a Marvel store near us, like, literally all pure Marvel, that's all Disney stuff as well. And they, of course, had product there front and center. The only good thing, at least, about that store was at least everything was MSRP. So if you wanted to get, like, any of the pre-cons or anything like that, you basically get them for exactly what they're supposed to be selling for. The only downside was they sold out of the villain deck. I noticed that when I went into the store. I was like, okay, well, obviously, everyone took advantage of that. Because I think the villain deck is the only commander pre-con that's being scalped right now. Although, ironically, that's probably the weakest deck if you want to keep it as is. All right, let's get in our Squirrel Girl again. We came here for squirrels, everyone. So we want to make those squirrels ASAP. As long as our opponent doesn't have any heavy removal, we should be able to generate at least a bunch of squirrels. Maybe not go infinite just yet, but we should be able to do something. All right, so Bloodline Pretender again is in hand, so this can be a really good card if we can just have it go off. MTG Hillbilly. Mine's been a fun experience. Okay, that's cool. I haven't had a chance to see what you built so far, but have you had anything that actually has been surprising for you? Okay, so Squirrel Girl's now an 8/8, so she actually a pretty big squirrel. Let's see here. Bloodline Pretender. All right. Get that out. More children. Yes, we do need to have more squirrels. We need all the squirrels. All right. Opponents. Essence Scatter. All right, that's fine. Let's counter that, but then that means now we can Chatter Storm here. Okay, so get this off for at least a couple more squirrels. This helps us speed up our plan. The squirrels are coming. And they're coming. Okay, so do you block opponents? No, take the hit. They go to 17. Nice. Okay, opponents. So they are at 4 mana. They need a white source, or an extra white source, I should say, or something else in order to get Cosmic Spider-Man to come in. Can they do it, though? Also, for those that have been playing recently, have you noticed any changes to 60 card, or do you feel like this set has affected more of the Brawl/Commander format? I only ask because since Marvel has come into Magic, I've literally felt like I've only been playing against Marvel cards. Like, no, seriously. Like, every time I do fire up and test out decks like Squirrel Girl, it's either been like Cosmic Spider-Man, or it's been Captain America, or something like that. Which I guess that means that, you know, people do like the set. Maybe a little bit more than I thought. Not that that's a bad thing. Even if it's not my jam, so far I've been having fun with the cards I've been playing with. So it's been good. All right, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. All right, so she makes a bunch of squirrels that time. Let's see. If I swing... Wait, can they take out the Squirrel Girl? Okay, no, they can't. Okay. All right, big swing here. So this doesn't look like it's going to be the Super Go Infinite combo, but we could definitely go wide. Boom. Down to 5 opponents. All right, opponent, you have 1 turn to stop our squirrels. Do you have an option? MTG Hillbilly. Bruce Banner with airbending, you say? Never thought I'd say that in, out of the sentence. But okay. I do know that, what is it, Hulk? He has some also combo potential as well. I'm just trying to figure out what we can do with him once we get to the other formats. Okay, opponent has managed to play the Cosmic Spider-Man. And, okay. Death by Vulture, gifted gold coins and 10 jewels. All right, awesome. Thanks for that. Appreciate that, my higher friend. Okay, so let's see. Our opponent has, let's see. Ooh. That's the only hard part about us. I realize now our squirrels do not fly, so that's actually a problem for us. Okay. Is there a way out of this? Or are we dead? Hold on. Let me sacrifice a food. A1. Okay, let's see. Okay, oh, dang it. We just got another forest. I guess this doesn't really help us that much. We can make a ton of squirrels here, which is nice. Swing here and go big. Okay, opponent's obviously going to block Squirrel Girl herself. At least we push through, what, 11 damage? Dang, we're close. But we have no way of stopping Cosmic Spider-Man with our hand right now. We need spot removal that is in the deck, but I don't think we're going to get to it in time. Okay, Spider Rex. Right. So Weaver makes more tokens. Ugh, they all go flying, and we lose. Okay. Take our first L for the day, everyone. That's a shame. That's okay. No big deal. If nothing else, again, squirrels are very easy to go off here. That's all good. But okay. That's something I will probably address once we get to the upgraded version of the deck. But so far, we'll just keep the good times going. All right. We don't... I'm trying to think of, like, what's the best way we can make some of the other Marvel cards into fun decks in the future. So for those that don't know, we will talk about again near the end of the stream as always. I like to again give you guys the heads up as to what we are building and what we should hopefully have out tomorrow morning for our first of many Marvel deck techs. So tomorrow's is going to be a fun one. It's another little combo combat deck. So hopefully that should work out for us. But we'll talk about that again near the end of the stream. I do already have a couple more decks lined up for the next couple of live streams. The only one I'm trying to have trouble with is actually, we are going to, of course, try to do a 4th of July stream. So for those of you that are, of course, my American fiery friends, we will definitely have an Independence Day themed stream. We'll see if we can put together something fun. Obviously, the focus is going to be, and I know Marvel makes it a little too easy for us. We have to do a Captain America deck. Got to at least do that for 4th of July, so got to get that out there. The only tricky part is trying to figure out how to build the deck, so we'll see. We'll see how I can make that work. Until then, let's see. We got Chitter Spitter, so we can start making squirrel tokens. All right, so we'll eat our food here. All right, so we get 1 on there. Ooh, Trail of Crumbs, that's good too. Make another food. We will make a squirrel token. All right, so here come the squirrels. This time around, we're going to see if we can just build up some tokens first before Squirrel Girl comes out. Opponent is playing with Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So let's see. I haven't seen him either yet, so I'm not sure if I should be scared or not concerned at all. Still, though, let's see. Power up. Put 2+1 counters on Nick Fury. Look at the top 7 cards in your library. Hero, equipment, or vehicle. Okay. Huh. Alright. We'll see. Oh. Aw, opponent! You've already given up? Oh, we were about to start doing our thing there. Okay. Okay. I mean, a win's a win, so I'll take it. Dang, I was ready to start comboing off with squirrels there. Okay. Well, okay, we got achievements. That's something else I was going to address too. So, real quick, everyone. And again, I'm not trying to be a hater today, but seriously, why did Marvel get extra achievements? Why didn't Avatar? Why didn't Final Fantasy get extra achievements? That's the one thing. Okay, I mean, let's be real. I'm pretty sure the answer is they really want to push the Marvel set on Arena. But seriously, why couldn't the other sets actually get their own standalone achievements? I mean, I'm getting all these achievements here. I was like, wait, that's not fair. I would have done also all the achievements for the other stuff. We'll claim these later on, by the way. Sorry, I just wanted to address that, everyone. Do you think the other sets should have gotten their own achievements? Let me know in the comments, everyone. I'm curious about that. Or do you think they should have not done any more achievements? Personally, if we're going to do achievements for one set, they really should be doing them for all sets. Not only is it fair, but it also makes it more fun, and it encourages you to actually play cards from the set. At least that's how I see it. MTG Hillbilly. I'm trying other ways with Bruce Banner. Did you know that the Incredible Hulk has 2 different names? It was David Banner and Bruce Banner. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm not as well tuned with my Marvel knowledge as some people out there, so I'm not going to pretend that I know everything. I know some things, besides even beyond the MCU stuff. I do have some comics, but it's not like I'm not huge on it. But I know some stuff. Some stuff. Right, meanwhile, opponent here playing with Raph and Mikey, so, okay. It's going to be the ramp until they can get Raph and Mikey out, and then they're going to just dump their handful of stupid big creatures. We'll see if we can get around that. The only hard part is their card has trample and it has haste. So that's actually going to be tough for us to get through because ideally I would love Kenrith's transformation to turn their Raph and Mikey into an elk, but if they're hasty, that makes it kind of tough. I don't know if we'll try, if we can, but we'll try. Let's see, what do we want first off? Baker's Bane duo. Make a food. I mean, we do have technically support parents in hand. We just need more lands. We can get more lands. Maybe we can stop them? Maybe. Balloon Tender. Okay. Again, they're trying to get the ramp on. They firebend? Alright, they're firebending. Okay, so... do we block? No, we need our squirrels. So we need our squirrels to survive. Yeah, special treatment for Marvel. Yeah, must be nice. But I wonder if that was something that... no, okay, firebend lesson. Alright, I guess we should have blocked after all. So I guess my question for that would have been, are they doing it... we'll turn this off, by the way. Okay, we draw a card off of that. That's nice. Okay. So the question, I guess, for that is, so I wonder, did Marvel strike a deal to add these? Which I'm guessing they probably did. In order for WotC to help hype up the set more. And That's probably the reason why, right? Okay, so let's see. Sacred Oak. I'm going to assume I'm not going to be fast enough to stop Rapid Mikey. We actually never played this card from Ninja Turtles. I mean, only because it is a cool card, but I don't know. It just feels like the play pattern is going to be kind of boring after a while. You know, you just ramp, get big creatures out, and just do stuff. Okay, opponents. I guess we'll block the soldier here. Down to 14. All right. Ooh, Order of Nylea. That's not too bad. I would love to make more squirrel creature tokens. Let's see if we can try this. All right, make some squirrels. Down to 20. Okay, so if we can get out of land and ride the Shoe Puff, we can start going super wide with Scurry Oak, but I don't know if it's going to be fast enough. Okay, Slash coming in. Ew, he big. Not looking good here. I'm going to try, everyone. We'll try. Okay, so let's see. Ride the Shoe Puff. Order of Nylea on top of there. Land. Scurried Oak. Make a token. Let's see. And then Scurried Oak again. Counter. Make another squirrel. Alright. So we have now enough squirrels we can actually do our thing. However, supportive parents, I don't know, might be a little bit too slow for this. Obviously they're going to block. But we're just doing it just to get the squirrels. That's mostly our main focus right now, is we just want squirrels. Oh, they let it go. Interesting. Okay. That's not horrible. Okay. They have 5 mana. 6 mana. Did we do enough? Okay, Slash. Swinging. That means we have to block here. MTG Hillbilly. There was a TV show and Hulk's name was David Banner. Then when MCU took Hulk over, they changed it to Bruce Banner. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. I remember now because... And this is a random reference. I forget that in... What is it? I was actually a Family Guy episode that actually mentioned the joke on there. Where they mentioned David Banner, not Bruce Banner. Huh. Bit of an obscure reference even for me, but... Some way, somehow, I still remember it. Okay, so let's see. Is there a way out of this? Or are we dead? Supportive parents. Okay, so that means now we can use our things here if we want to. Trickster Elk. We want to stop here. Okay, Slash goes bye-bye. Turns it and just do a 10-10. I know, not crazy, but okay. And then... Bloodline Pretender. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we name Squirrel, of course. Yeah, I'm still not feeling hot about this. Okay, so here comes Rapid Mikey. So they do their thing. They get big, and they have Trample, so yeah, we're dead. Dang. Oh, for sure. Okay, Crater Hoof. Yeah, how nice, opponent. You got Crater Hoof right off the top there. Jeez. Fine. I'll concede. Alright. I knew the moment they were going to bring in Rapid Mikey, I'm like, dang, there's just no way. And of course, the Crater Hoof off the top, like, ugh. That was terrible. But okay, it's okay. It's part of the play pattern, so it was to be expected. We didn't really have too many options in mono green to stop that. But it is what it is. Okay, in any case, moving on, shaking it off. Okay. Let's see, an actor called Lou. Oh, what is it? Lou Ferrigno? I think that was the name of the actor that did the TV show Hulk, David Banner. Back in the day when they used to use like goofy makeup just to make him look cute and everything. I mean, he's a big guy, but I mean, like, you know, this was before the era of CG, so they worked with what they had. Okay, I was surprised, like, how that made that work back in the, what was it? Was it the 70s or yeah, it was the 70s, I think, for that Hulk show. Way before most of us were even born. Okay, any case, what's it? Moving back onto the game. Okay, so we got Earthbender Ascension, Scurry Oak, Fire Spider Food, and Squirrel Wrangler. Okay, so if we can get another Forest, which we can get with Earthbender Ascension, we can definitely start making our Squirrel Girl go off again. Meanwhile, our opponent's playing... Oh, that's cute. They're playing with Disa and Geralt here. So this is actually from... this is now actually from the beginner commander deck they have out there. It's cute, by the way. So, opponent's playing with zombies. Milling and zombies. At some point, I might do something beginner-related again for more commander decks. We'll see how that goes. Alright, well, first I'll play the Forest. And then... play Scurry Oak. So the way we're going to do this, so hear me out. So Scurry Oak, we're going to try to do the combo again where we get Order of Nylea on top of him. We can start making squirrel tokens that way as well. That should work. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was. Cool. Thanks for helping jogging my memory on that one. Okay, opponent gonna swing. They are. Okay. Take our another hit here, go down to 22. Alright, opponents. Ooh, Squirrel Sanctuary. Okay. That's not too bad either. So let's see here. Order of... let's see. Order of Nylea. Actually, no, hold on. Earthbender Ascension. That's actually better. So for this, because we Earthbend 2, so we get a good creature out of that. So get the land we control. Nice. Get out a Forest. Go to counter. And then from here, we will... well, actually, do we want to do this now? We'll wait. We'll wait it out. We will wait it out. No attacks. So even if they blow up the Forest as a creature, it just comes back and it does trigger off the landfall shenanigans. So we're in good shape, right? Person Marauder. Okay. Annoying, but not the worst. Okay, so we lose a life, but the land comes back tapped anyway. Alright, so we get another landfall trigger off that. That's so sweet. You're telling your age? Oh, okay, well. I mean, I don't think I've ever asked you how old you are, MG Ability. Again, none of my business, of course. But hey, I mean, let's be real also, like, I've mentioned before, I'm not a young buck like I once was. Like, most of the kids that I interact with feel like they're like half my age when it comes to playing Magic. Okay, anyways. Awkwardness aside with our ages. Alright, let's see if we can keep doing this. Okay, Order of Nylea, so there we go. And then Squirrel Sanctuary. So at the very least here, we can start building up our squirrels. Okay. We will Thirsting Roots. Dig out another basic. Alright. Get the forest down. Alright. Awesome. Swing with Scurry Oak. He gets a counter, so that means we do get another squirrel off the top of that. Alright. Make another squirrel. Do you block, opponent, with the Diregraph? I don't think he will block. Oh, he does block. Okay. Okay, that's fine, opponent. So, we pay the 1. Get that back to our hand. And we play it again to get another squirrel out. So, either way, opponent, we will get our squirrels. One way or the other. Okay. So, now we have 3 squirrels out. Squirrel Girl will enter and make 4. That means from there, we can double it up immediately. So, even if our opponent is going to try to do anything here, we should be good to go. Still got a Spider Food in case we need to blow up something. It's tempting to get rid of that Arcane Signet, but at this point, they have enough mana where it probably wouldn't matter, so we'll just wait. Gray Merchant. Okay, so Gray Merchant for not really any heavy value, but I'll take it. We're at 16, we're at 28. Okay, so opponents. What you got? Ideally, if we can get Earthbender Ascension to then trigger off, then we can start putting counters, and we can start putting Trample on our stuff. Oop, clock's ticking, opponents. What you got? What you got? Okay, Pachuca Bog. Okay. So they exile our graveyard. I mean, we don't really care about that. Not something we worry about. We're not a graveyard deck, so no big deal for us. Okay, Origin of Metabolic. Okay, that's not too shabby either. Okay, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl coming in again. Alright, so from here, no attacks. pass the turn. So Origin of Metal Bending is going to give us another layer of protection for our Squirrel Girl, just for a little bit longer. God, I'm going to get tongue-tied at some point trying to say this. Okay. Opponents, 3 cards in hand. What you got? Show me what you got. Deadly Dispute, okay. So they're going to get value here for their Stitcher Supplier. All right, that's fine. Mill. We'll see if that actually helps them, because they can't really do anything until Geese and Gerald enter anyway. Okay, Diregraph Colossus, okay. Alright, so that's a big Colossus. Ugh. Okay, so, opponent swinging, okay. I don't really care about the damage there. I know what they're going to try to do. They want that in the graveyard so they can recast it later on with Geese and Gerald once they have that hit the field. So until then... Okay, so first off, let's make all of our squirrels. There we go. Lots of squirrels. Okay, so for now, we have enough where... I'll try to do this here. Okay, opponents. More squirrels. Do you block with a Colossus? Okay, they do block. All right, so might as well do this now. Okay. Does Metal Bending help us push through the damage? Yes. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl doing her thing. Do they sacrifice? Oh. Corrupted Conviction. Okay, they do. All right. So Squirrel Girl fails to get through. It's okay, though. It's okay, everybody. No big deal. We have plenty of squirrels to work with, so... Or maybe not. Okay. Opponent blows up the whole field. So that means we have to rebuild all of our squirrels again. Dang. Okay. Even Eternal. Okay. Mass Zombies 1. Okay, so for that... Okay. Alright, might as well redeploy. Make 1 squirrel. But now Landfall starts doing its thing, so Squirrel Girl can now start getting bigger. Okay, Gisa and Gerald. Okay, so now they can start milling, and they can start recasting all of their stuff. But don't worry, we can still go wide. No. Alright, now they're going to start trying to cycle that. That's dumb, but that's okay, everybody. We have ways of making this all work. So, not worried just yet. No worries, everyone. We can still do this. Okay, no blocks yet. Go to 12. Okay, Forest. So, Squirrel Sanctuary coming back. At this point now, we have to start churning out tokens, like, quickly. Chitter Spitter. Okay, and Spider Food. Makes our food. Forest. Pump up one of our squirrels. Make another squirrel. Okay, yep. The game plan now is we gotta go wide quick. Because now, we don't have removal for Geese and Gerald, so looking a little rough here. But after this game, everyone, we'll then upgrade the deck and show you what we can really do if we are able to invest a little bit more into this game plan. Just a little bit. But don't worry, after this also we will be playing ranked. So we'll see if a ranked version that's upgraded with Squirrel Girl actually is going to be worth it. Okay, until then though, let's see. Opponent swinging? Maybe? Yes? No? Okay. So Keith and Gerald doing their thing here. We will just block with 1. Okay. Gotta keep our life total high as much as we can, everybody. Okay, so Squirrel Girl is still out of it for a little while longer, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. The plan right now is we just need to build faster so they can just start blowing up our stuff. Whew, okay. What could they be getting that's going to try to stop us? They must have dug out something that's a little scary. We'll see. See right here. Okay, so we can sacrifice a token now, so we will eat up our food. Pumps up our squirrels. Squirrel Wrangler coming in. Alright. Play the forest. Alright, put it on our one and only squirrel there. Make another squirrel. We then sacrifice... Wait, hold on. Sacrifice a land. Just one land. So it's a small price to pay right now. But we just want to keep going wide with squirrels as much as we can. That's our biggest concern right now, is we need to be able to pull this off. Okay, we need to go super wide here. Squirrels, squirrels, squirrels. Okay, push through the damage. They got trample, so that means we can get this through. Dictative airboats. Ugh, that's not good for us. Alright, so down to 21. We will lose a squirrel. That's a small price to pay right now. Okay, opponents. Great Merchant. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a Cursed Marauder just to turn off our one and only non-token creature. That was to guess. Okay, opponents. What else you got? Yep. It's going to be Marauder loops. Okay. Can't pay the one, so we have to lose another creature here. No, our squirrels are shrinking. Opponents. Don't be that way. Okay. It's fine, everyone. It's fine. We still have options. So it's not like we just need just Squirrel Girl to get through. Okay. Opponents. Anything else? 2 cards in hand, and we are completely out of cards. But that Dictative Erebos, man. Ugh. Unfortunately, we have to use up earlier spider food. But if we didn't use the spider food earlier, they would have just had flying zombies would have overran us far faster. Alright, Diregraph Colossus. You big. You big. Okay, Reality Chip. One's probably not going to swing because we can just blow up them. Okay, so we will sacrifice 1 token here just to make all of our squirrels bigger. Okay, ooh, okay, here we go. So, Ball again recovery. We will get back... Okay, what do we get back here? Get back the spider food. We can blow up... What do we blow up here? Dictative Airboats? Yeah, probably the Airboats. Okay, that gets that. Make another token. Squirrels still trying to do what they can. Trying, everyone. Dang, this one's going to be a grind. We're not giving up just yet. Theoretically, we're not dead. We have options. But Jisa, like, them being out here does make it tough for us to push through. Because they can keep recurring stuff. Okay. Opponent. Do they add the reality chip to... Yep, they do. Alright. Okay. Anything else, opponents? Oh, they are swinging. Okay. No. Nope. Oh, okay. Opponent's still trying to figure out what they want to do here. Okay. So. Dang. Okay, we're going to have to take the hit here. Ugh. Sacrifice our food. Squirrels get bigger. Alright, so they are still trying to do their thing. Alright, still trying. Okay, no attack still. Okay. Do we live through this turn? Most likely not, because if they cast what I think they cast, it'll be over here in just a second. Does our opponent know that, though? They have to know. If they cast... Okay. So it was either the Great Merchant combo, or it was going to be Aven Internal to go over us, and that is game, everybody. Wow, that stinks, but okay. Opponent managed to pull off something there, so it's all good. Okay, well, I think we've already had enough of the budget one, everyone, so you kind of get the idea, again, of what we're trying to do. We did manage to pull off the combo at least once, so if nothing else, you got to see it do its thing. But what if we take the time to do our squirrels again, and we upgrade them and take them to the next level? So for the remainder of the stream, as always, we'll go, of course, into the ranked format. So this is my interpretation of what I believe would be absolutely silly to do in the format. So this version here is going to be a lot more expensive, but we have a lot more upgraded options for us. So we'll cover this briefly, and we will go over then into ranked Brawl for the remainder of the stream. Okay, so for the upgrades here that are going to help us out in this instance now is we're going to throw now Worldly Tutor. So Worldly Tutor instant speed allows you to look to your library for any creature card and put it into your hand. There are going to be specific creatures you do want in your deck, which we'll cover in just a moment here. Hold on. Actually, there might be one other card I might want that I realize I probably didn't put in. Let's see if this works. So there's one. I suppose you could have put also Crater Hoof if you want to. So this actually can be an option for you. Let's see. Crater Hoof. I mean, you can. And then what was I also going to put in? Actually, that should be the only one we need. That actually should be the only one we need. So that means we'll cut out the changeling there. Okay, cool. Okay. Sorry. I just realized now I'm like, wait, I'm dumb. I probably should put that in as a finisher. Okay. So with this version of the deck here, so Worldly Tutor can help you fetch out whatever you need to out of the deck itself. And of course, as I just threw in there right now, Crater Hoof can now be one of our major upgrades for the deck to get you what you need. If you need to trigger off a ton of stuff, we have Roaming Throne as well. So you can also pull that out using Worldly Tutor because it's instant speed and you draw right into it the next turn. So that's actually a really, really powerful option for you. In terms of other upgrades, unfortunately, and I'll say this now, everyone, if you're playing mono green squirrels, your squirrels are limited to what we already have. Literally everything we put in is everything we could that was just mono green squirrels. The better squirrels are in Golgari, but we'll talk about again what options you have if you actually want to splash into other colors with Squirrel Girl. So we'll cover that in a bit, but just FYI. Otherwise, most of our other upgrades are mostly just to support the plan to make it sure it's actually a much more robust plan. So we have cards like Heroic Intervention to make sure all of our permanents gain hexproof and indestructible. So it helps us out again, just making sure we protect the whole game plan here. In terms of other major upgrades, honestly, it's not going to be anything too crazy here. So what we already kind of covered already is here, but we do have cards to help us pump up things like Sylvan Anthem here, giving all of our green creatures +1/+1, and anytime a green creature we control enters, so that means even our squirrel tokens themselves trigger this off, we can scry 1. So this can help us again just pump up our whole plan. In terms of other upgrades, honestly, there's not really too many crazy things we can squeeze into the deck already, because most of what you see already does enough for us. We do throw in cards like Archdruid's Charm here, so this actually can help us out with just making sure we can get more lands, use this for artifact enchantment and instant speed, or putting +1/+1 counters on a creature, and then using it as pseudo spot removal, so that can help us out as well. Keep all of your banners, keep all your cores, we'll keep your Knight of Sweet's Revenge. We're now going to throw in, of course, Parallel Lives, so this actually is going to be really, really good for our deck here. Parallel Lives, 4 mana, enchantment. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many tokens instead. So this can really pump up our whole plan and give us exactly what we need. Speaking of that, since we're throwing in Parallel Lives, we got to throw in Primal Vigor here. So this again just does the exact same thing as Parallel Lives, doubling up our tokens immediately, and also it doubles up our counters as well. So this actually really makes our plan go super crazy. Other upgrades here, I mean, we have thrown the Second Harvest, so instant speed. For each token we control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. So this can help us again double up all of our extra copies of foods, extra copies of squirrels. And this is instant speed, so this can be hilarious with the amount of stuff we can get. Not much else as I mentioned earlier. That's pretty much all the major upgrades there. I might do one tweak I realized I probably could have done here. So where was the tweak I was going to do right now? Hold on. There was one... Let's see, maybe we don't need the ram through for say, and instead we might want, hold on. There's definitely a lot of stuff you could play with in a deck like this. So we'll go over this real quick. Let's see. You could put in Hardened Scales if you want to care more about the counter plan. But I actually would rather put in Innkeeper's Talent, because this actually can help us speed up some of our other options here. So this actually goes pretty well with Chitter Spitter as well, because this can pump up all the acorn counters very quickly with it. Otherwise, other major upgrades for the deck will be, of course, in the actual land base itself. So we're going to trim down to 28 lands, but we have a lot of utilities we can still use. So Mono Green does afford you the ability to actually run a lot of utilities, and you'll see why in a second. We're going to throw in, of course, Beseiju here. We have a Vendo here. We tap this for getting more more ramp for all creatures we control. We'll throw in, of course, Cavern of Souls to make sure our squirrels are uncounterable. Fountain Port, because we have tons of tokens, so we might as well use those to generate more mana value. Labyrinth of Scorpos here allows us to make sure we can remove an attacking or blocking creature from combat. So this is mostly, again, to trigger off Squirrel Girl so she can attack, but then pull herself back to actually just make more tokens.
A Mute of All here can be an honorary squirrel if we need it to be. Obviously, we have to throw a Nick those Shrine to Nicks here to make sure we can then get more ramp and more shenanigans going. Scavenger Grounds again is going to be our Graveyard Hate. Swarm Yard is kept, of course, and Yavi Vaya, Cradle of Growth, will help us again turn all of our utility lands into forests to make sure we always tap for the right mana we need at any time. Let me check to see it. I feel like I'm still missing maybe a couple things here, so hold on. Oh, that's right, I'm dumb. Okay, so let's see. We'll cut out the Go Forth, and instead, because we have some better ramp we can use. So we're going to throw in Crop Rotation. Crop Rotation, I realize we can do that instant speed to get out of land immediately. So that's actually good for us. Sorry, I know I threw this together, honestly, like this morning. So I'm missing maybe like a couple of cards I probably should be putting into the deck that are actually going to be helpful for that. So let's see. And then what was I going to mention also? Doubling. Oh, I think we have Doubling Season, right? Did I forget that card? Hold on. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here because I feel like I'm still missing some cards. Oh, that's right. We did forget Doubling Season. Wow, I'm so dumb. Okay, so we'll throw in Doubling Season. We'll cut something else out for that in just this moment here. There's a creature that lets Squirrel Girl activate her ability whenever she enters. It's also Marvel. Iron Fist? Oh, that's right. Okay. Let's see. Do we not have the card? Hold on. Take down real quick. Okay. Am I looking wrong? Hold on. All right, so dig through this real quick because I feel like it's not popping up. I think I know what you guys are talking about. Let's see. Wait, where is it at? You said it was Iron Fit. Hold on. Was it Shang-Chi? There was also another card that I could have sworn was in. That was also here too. That also would help us out. Yeah, again, guys, I haven't had a chance to go through the whole everything in here. So I do feel like, yes, I'm missing some cards. It's a green creature. Okay, Training Regiment also, I realize, can help us out again, because what +1/+1 counters, once we can start getting those on there. Training Regiment actually would be good too there. And then... Wait, are you sure it's Iron Fist? Because I don't see Iron Fist in the green slot. Is it Shang-Chi? Hold on. Shang-Chi pumps up all of our counters. Or was it... Okay, it was Shang-Chi. Okay. But what is it, the 2-drop one? You may activate abilities of those creatures as though creatures they have haste. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you guys were right. Okay. Wait, can I afford it? Okay, whoo. That's going to be using up one of my mythics, but that's fine, everybody. We'll make it work. We're going to make it work. Okay, so that means we can cut out some of the lesser. So that means we got to cut 3 cards in order to make this work. So, I guess I can cut Rooftop Percher because we already are going to focus on making squirrels anyway, so we don't need that. And then, maybe we don't need Vivian all that much. She's mostly here just for the spot removal aspect. We don't really need it that much. We have other ways now of getting trample onto creatures. So I think that might be a cut there. Okay. And then finally, maybe one of our lesser options for, let's see, Heaped Harvest, Harrow, Forger. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what else can we cut that we don't? Maybe Welcome to Sweet Tooth. Hold on. We'll get going in just a second, everybody. Do not worry. Just trying to dig through that. I guess we can cut Song of Freyalise. That's a little too slow for the deck. But I'm thinking it could make everything mana dorks. Give me a second to comb through this one more time to see what we probably could cut. Or maybe Guardian Gladewalker. Oh, yeah, that's probably a little slow there. Okay. What's your bodyguard? I guess I could put rid of the frog squirrels too, but they have reach too. I kind of like those guys. They're so cute, by the way. Okay, so instead, it'll probably be. I'll get rid of the mouse vandal. Okay. Okay, so there we go. We'll just work with that, everyone. So that'll be squirrels upgraded now. So let's take what we have now. Let's take this into. This time we're actually going to go rank brawl. So now we're getting serious. Squirrels upgraded, everybody. Let's see. For the remainder of the stream, let's just play as much as we can. And let's see how well the deck can do with what we have. All right. Feeling good, everybody. Feeling good. Let's see if we can make this work instead. All right. The green enduring enchantment creature lets you tap creatures for mana and make about 250 tokens. Hilarious. Okay, so here we go, everybody. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. So, okay, Blinding Parting, Squirrel Mob, okay. Night of Sweet's Revenge. So we actually do... This actually works because we actually did get the mini parting, so we actually can get some food going here pretty quick. So hopefully that'll help out a little bit there. Okay. So game plan now. We have enough to get out Night of Sweet's Revenge. That adds for us food to use as mana dorks, which can help us again get out Squirrel Girl a little faster with Squirrel Mob. Meanwhile, our opponent is playing... Oh, they're playing it with Yuriko. So I realize now also... This is also going to be a detrimental part of playing competitive Brawl now, is Yuriko is going to be everywhere. We'll talk about that in the future. Although I heard that there is technically going to be a banning coming up soon for next... Is it Monday? There's supposed to be a banning and restricted announcement on Monday, right? That'll be interesting. Let's see if they actually get rid of certain things. Ooh. Opponent already trying to get Yuriko out there. Okay, opponent. Okay. Okay, I see what you're trying to do there. So, you know what? Your ninja becomes an elk. Too bad, opponent. Unless they have some kind of free counter spell. Hopefully they don't. Better than Roaming Throne? Oh, okay. Okay, well for now, we turned Yuffie / Yuriko into an elk, so now they can't do any of their shenanigans. Okay, Changeling Outcast, alright. Nothing yet, opponents. They can do damage. Oh, but they can also ninjutsu back, can't they? Okay, well, this is going to be very frustrating here to get through. Genius Infiltrator, so they get rid of their thing there. They hit us 23, they start drawing cards. Okay, and now they get back Yuriko, okay. I reminded myself right now, like, oh, that's right. This is why I don't actually want to play Ranked Brawl, because it's probably going to be so cookie cutter with these decks. We'll give it like 1 or 2, everyone. But if it's not looking very diverse, I'm probably just gonna cut down. Okay, we're just probably gonna quit out of this, because the whole point of our decks is to have some fun. But I think our opponent is gonna try to do some stupid stuff here. Yep, there goes Yuriko doing his thing. This is definitely one of the most broken commanders you probably could play, even in paper, and it's easy to see why. I think Monday, I hope a standard gets hit this time. Yeah, standard needs a lot of fixing now. As much as I'm a person that likes Is It, a lot of the Is It decks need to get restructured. I'm still surprised, though, that a certain talent card has survived as long as it has. Honestly. Night of Sweet's Revenge. So with this, turns our food into mana dorks, which is nice. Makes the food. Play Scarlet Colony. So we can kind of block. Sort of. Okay. Opponents. What shenanigans are you trying to pull off now? Fatal. Okay. Alright. I don't think we're going to be enjoying this. We'll give this format maybe like 1 or 2 more games. But if we're only going to be facing off against like this kind of stuff, that I don't want to play this. At least not until we actually have like an actual deck that's fully built for a competitive deck. Unless you guys still want to see me just play Ranked Brawl. I don't mind playing Ranked Brawl. It's just, once people have figured out what they can play in this format, it's going to be a little annoying. Last time they hit the game with banned standard didn't get a hit. Yeah, I was really surprised. And I was like, okay. I guess Standard's going to be rough for a little bit. Okay, they're playing Grief. They're going to steal stuff from us. All right. I think this game is cooked. Yeah, we're not getting through this one, so... Oh, that is pretty bad. Okay, so we're still at Diamond Rank 3. I don't think we're going to get to Mythic in time for the next setup, everybody. As much as I would like to. How much time actually is left in the season? I have to check. Okay. 2 days. Okay. Okay. So until then, let's play one more competitive Brawl. I'm pretty sure Diamond 3 is probably where we're going to be at for the remainder of this time frame. But also I realized I need to tell myself, I need to find a way to see if I can squeeze in maybe one more deck before the rankings reset, just at least for gameplay. Just trying to figure out again what to build. Okay, we're playing against Roxanne. Okay, that's not too bad. Roxanne can do some shenanigans too, but I feel like we have a better shot against her. Okay, so for now, Realm Walker, that's not too shabby. Innkeeper's Talent, which is cute. Birds of Paradise. Alright, that's fine. Many partings. So for that, Inverting. And then we'll just gain some life. Make some tokens. Start getting the game plan going. Let's get those squirrels. Let's get those squirrels. Okay, next. Probably many partings, Innkeeper's Talent, so we can start building up stuff. Ground Seal, okay. Okay. We don't care about Ground Seal. That's not going to hurt us that much anyway. So for that, let us play Innkeeper's Talent. We'll tick it up. Give ourselves a ward. Alright, start attacking with our little squirrels here. Come on, little squirrels. You got this. Down to 22. So we get the first hit in. Okay, so once we can get Squirrel Girl out, we can give her at least Ward 1. So that at least gives her a little bit of protection, forcing our opponent to kind of... No, they have Stone Rain. Okay, opponent's going to be doing land destruction shenanigans. But that's not the worst for us. So for now, Besage you. Play... How do we do this here? Many partings. Might as well try to stay ahead on lands. Take a food. Put a counter on here. Swing with both of our tokens now. Down to 18 opponents. Okay, making some progress. So opponent's going to be all about land destruction. Playing Roxanne, okay. It's fine. Meow meow. They'll probably just go to face, okay. Go back down to 26. Okay. Guardian Gladewalker. It's not too bad. Play the Forest. I guess might as well get Squirrel Girl out now while we can. Take a squirrel. Give her a counter. No attacks. So she gets a little bit of protection. Just a little bit. Okay. Opponents. 5 cards in hand. If we can start pumping up with Innkeeper's Talent, we should be good to go. I think I also have Chitter Spitter too. So, opponents. City on fire. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Triple damage instead. Ugh. Okay. We'll block with our 2 little tokens here. Might as well. Get that damage. So Roxanne down. Phew. Okay. Curious Forger. Okay. Can't be the target. Okay, so for now... Bounce that back. Alright. City on fire. Goes bye-bye. Okay. Phew. Okay, we got that out of the way. And then from here... Let's see. Chitter Spitter. Start putting counters on stuff. Make our squirrels. Okay. Down to 10 opponents. Okay. We're making progress. Not too bad, right? We can do this. Okay. Ancient Tomb. Oh, I forgot. Ancient Tomb is technically legal in this format. Wait, why am I playing then Arid Archway? I feel dumb. I'll have to switch that out once we get to... Okay, we're down. Alright, so we lose 2 things there. Okay, Roxanne coming back. She pings us. Or takes out 1 squirrel, I should say. Okay, that's fine. Forest. So, here... Curious Forger. Decline. Because of its ability. Wait. Oh, I'm dumb. I probably should have done this earlier. Ground Seal goes bye-bye. Swing again. Make another squirrel token. I probably could have gotten back my things. Down to 4. We're close to winning. Maybe we might not need that after all. Yeah, I sequenced that incorrectly. So yeah, don't get mad at me. I am a dumb Magic player. Vizium Borders. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Swing. They make a meteorite. So that means we lose Squirrel Girl. Aw. Put her back to the command zone. Down to 16. Okay, so... Balaged Recovery. Okay, so Balaged, that actually is not too bad. So from that, what do we want? Get Chitter Spitter. Realm Walker first. And we do that on Squirrel. Crater Hoof on top. That's hilarious. I just wish we could have gotten that earlier. Okay. Opponent with the Strip Mine. Probably going to blow up Arid Archway. No surprise there. Okay. Arid Archway goes bye-bye. Toots. Opponent swinging. Yep. Let's see. They can use these for ramping. They ping us. We go to 14. Okay. Go to 10. Okay, Crater Hoof for not really any value, but it's fine. We'll have that there. Guardian Gladewalker. Mostly just here to pump up Realm Walker. Okay. Swinging with the Realm Walker. We got a block. Maybe? Okay. Opponents? Okay. Okay. Birds down. Not that they need that anymore. We just need to force through that damage. If they make another meteorite, Gladewalker dies. Okay. A Braid. Wow. They really want to ping that away. Okay. Okay, so we lose another creature there. Dang. Not looking too good here. We're trying. Okay. Opponents? Anything else? Down to 6. Might as well eat the food now. Keep up our life total for a little bit. Okay, Thirsting Roots. Chitter Spitter first. And then, do we do this now? It's 4. Now, Frozen Grip. Aw, and that also has Split Second? No! Okay. Forcing through damage no matter what. Gotta make it done. Thirsting Roots. You got a basic. Wow, this is literally down to the wire. Play the Forest. Okay. Some way, somehow, one of us in the next turn or so is going to have to get this done. Okay. Well, it's got the Lightning Bolt. And that is game. Dang. Okay. Yeah. That sucks. They managed to just barely scrape by and beat us there. So we take our L again. Okay. Yeah, I'm not having fun with this format. Okay. At least we got that done. All right. So we're going to jump back to regular Brawl for just a moment. I know usually I don't do that when it comes to anything that's competitive, but Right now, Squirrels, they're meant to be a fun deck. I wasn't really building this with the notion of being competitive. I do have some ideas for competitive decks, which I was focusing on once we get competitive Brawl going. If you saw, what is it, a stream like about a week and some ago, we did an all, like, no holds barred to fairy deck. So if you're looking for something competitive, we do actually have a couple of actual competitive decks for Brawl. But Squirrel Girl was not optimized for that. I tried to do what I can, but as you even saw earlier, there's definitely a lot of cards I may have missed. It's not fully streamlined. So, be something we'll talk about a little bit later on. For now, let's get into our next game here. Okay, so we're playing against Prismari, the Inspiration. So they're going to try to storm off. Can we beat that, though? And I realize now I probably should get rid of Arid Archway. I didn't realize Ancient Tomb is legal in the format, so we really should be using that. That will speed up your plan faster. Much faster. Forest. Many partings. Alright, get out the forest. Make our food. Got Shang-Chi in hand here. Okay. Opponents. What you got? Okay, Molten Core Maestro. Okay. Ooh, got the Parallel Lives. That's good too. So for now, play the forest. Shang-Chi coming in. So Shang-Chi does help us out quite a bit there with his ability. It speeds up using Squirrel Girl's stuff, which is great. Still just gotta build up a little bit more before we can actually do stuff here. Okay. Molten Core Maestro. Okay, doing its thing. Okay. Do they swing? They do. Okay, they go to 22. Okay, forest. So from here, the forest. Realm Walker. Naming Squirrel. Okay. Down to 23. Still trying to hang in there as much as we can. Parallel Lives will be great once we can start getting up some tokens. Still a little ways, though. Still a little ways away. Dang, just not having... Yeah, I'll swap out the Ancient Tomb after this game. Because that alone means that Arid Archway would be a much worse option. Because that actually would have sped us up a ton. Okay, opponent. Shang-Chi, okay. Upgrade. So he goes bye-bye. Not surprised about that. Okay, we go to 18. One class, right? Okay. Chatterstorm. Okay, Oak Hollow Village. Play Toski. Swing here. They can't block. Or they can block, but they probably won't. Because they want to keep that. So that should mean we can get a card off of that. Alright, draw a card. Nice. Ooh, Banner's coming up too. That's good too. Okay, so we have options here. We have options of speeding things up. Okay, let's see. Gotta keep pace with our opponent here. Alright, Crafted Pride. They start ramping with their treasures. Opponent swinging. They can swing with the Maestro. Okay. Go to 13. Eesh. Not looking too good here, everybody. Okay. Tap the forest. Bounce the forest. Heraldic Banner. We can name... Oh, they have negate. Okay. Boo! Come on, opponent. Don't be like that. So, we have to swing. Obviously, they block the Toski. Go to 19. We draw another card. Swarm Yard's not bad. But man, we're behind. Okay, so yeah, note to self. Make that adjustment real quick after Arid Archway in this game here. Okay, Prismari. Inspiration. Ironically, we do have Spider Food, which can destroy him. But I don't know if that's going to be fast enough with what we're having. So... Let's see. Dang it. Okay, so... Spider Food. Oh, we can't. Okay, hold on. Eat the food. We then spider food. The ward. Hey, and we go to 3. But we blow up him. We make another food. We still die no matter what, though. Draw another card. Draw another card. Squirrel Sanctuary. We make a token there. That's not enough. Okay. Molten Core Maestro, everyone. Stopping us there. Dang. But it's okay, everybody. So, real quick, we're going to make that quick adjustment because I realized Ancient Tomb is technically legal in here. It's actually not legal in actual Commander, so just FYI. But in Brawl, it is legal, so I might as well use it. So, let's go ahead and let's make that adjustment as well. Where is it at? Wait, hold on a second. Oh, that's right. It's in okay. Competitive Brawl is where it's legal. Okay. I see where we're going here. So, Aired Archway. So, FYI, can't use this in Brawl, but you can use it in competitive. Okay. So, for now, let's give it a shot in actual competitive Brawl. So, let's try that. All right. Give me 1 second, everyone. Oh, I need to check something real quick. Hold on. Still here. Be right back. Okay, everybody? Okay. Phew, sorry. Someone was at the door. Okay, so we're good to go now. Okay, so let's see here what we got. Night Sweet's Revenge, not too bad. Squirrel Sanctuary. Okay, so we can start making tokens. Not quite... Okay, so we're playing against Teferi. So let's see. Can we get around a Teferi Azorius control deck? And they even got the sleeves, too. Wow, they are locked in. But let's see. Can our squirrels stop their plan before... it's too late? All right, we'll find out here. They got the island. Okay, Trail of Crumbs, okay. So let's start making our food. Make all the food. Okay, 1 squirrel to attack. All right, first blood. Got that first hit in. Field of Ruin, okay. Field of Ruin actually won't hurt us too much. Got the Swarm Yard. Okay, so for now, Honored Dray Leader. Okay, so we only are going to get it on 1 squirrel. Not that much value, but still helps. Still swinging down to 23. Okay, opponents. Consult the Star Chart, so they're digging. Looking for answers. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl can come in technically next turn. But if I know our opponent, they've got to have something cooked up their sleeve. Okay. Opponents? Anything else? Nope, nothing. Okay. So for now, we're swinging. Nothing opponents? Down to 19. So we're actually going to hold off for a moment here. They got 3 mana open, but I don't know what else they've got. Do they tap for the Field of Ruin? Maybe? Opponents? 3 steps ahead. Okay, so for that... Second Harvest. Might as well put that on the stack now. So we just get a couple more tokens. Not that many, but that does help us out a little bit here. So Dray Leader now is a bigger threat, but our opponent definitely has to get a Wrath. Although I realize, oh yeah, I probably should have waited until they actually resolved their spell and then done our thing. That probably would have discouraged them from getting a Wrath initially, but now they really are going to look for a Wrath. Okay, it's fine, everyone. It's fine. We just will make it work. Subtlety. Okay, opponents. Do you have the Wrath? You gotta have the Wrath. Okay. Opponents, all the cards they have. Full hand, and we dump out our hand. Okay, opponent, what you got? Come on. Don't keep me waiting. I'm sure you gotta have something in your hand you want to throw at us. Opponents, you there? Hello? Okay, Fox take an opponent. Okay, Teferi time Raffle. Okay. So that's the Teferi actually we used for our version of Teferi. If people were curious, we used this one instead, which is actually a pretty hilariously strong one. Okay. Okay, Andre Leader doing his thing. Okay, so for that, play the Forest. Knight of Sweet's Revenge. That does allow us to have more there. And then Dre Leader coming back in. Cool. Take out this Teferi, so he goes bye-bye. Nice.
You just let me know if you're up for
Phew. Okay. Swarm Yard can help us out here quite a bit because this is actually a pretty good thing. However, they can blow it up with Field of Ruin and Demolition Field. Oh, wow. Opponents ain't playing around. They have ways of blowing up our land if they want to. Okay. If we only had our Sunfall. Okay. Okay, that hurts us a lot because that exiles everything. They get a token out of that. Joy. Forest. Squirrel Girl coming in. It's a token. But we can actually make tokens too. But we're going to wait for a moment. If our opponent doesn't have another Wrath, we can start going wide with tokens. And again, Teferi is also really iffy. Opponents. What will they do? They haven't put up much of a fight yet. But they're probably just trying to blow up everything we have. I mean, again, I played this deck already like a week and some ago, so I already know it's mostly just going to be counter spells, wrathing, and spot removal. Not the most exciting, but I mean, it does get the job done. Okay, opponents. Still thinking. Still thinking. Speaking of thinking, question for everybody out there. So, question I want to ask everyone is, so do you actually have a favorite specific card from the Marvel set that you actually have been having fun with? Is there a character or something that you all have been enjoying playing with? Let me know in the comments, everyone. I would love to hear from about what, again, is your thing from the set. Okay, until then, opponent is thinking over life right now, as we all should be. Okay, opponents, you there? Hello? Opponents, you there? Okay, when you destroy all creatures with power 30 grade. Okay, so regenerate. So this is again where regenerate can come into play. This is where it gets hilarious. Oh, okay, might as well do this now. Take our tokens. Disruptor Flute's on the stack. Spells with the chosen name cost 3 more to cast. Okay. That is annoying, but it's not the worst for us. Okay, so Disruptor Flute's on top. We make our tokens. Squirrel Girl has now been affected, but we have Regenerate still. So as long as we have Regenerate, we have options. Okay. Make our next token. Down to 12. Okay. So we're in range. We are within range of getting a win. Maybe. All depends on what our opponent does here. Disruptor Flute is going to be annoying, but it's not the worst. Swarm Yard also can help us protect Squirrel Girl from getting blown up. This is definitely a powerful card. I'm surprised this card has this card gone up in value so far? I have a couple of them, but they are really, really good. Okay. Does our opponent have the option to stop us? They can take down, but that won't matter as long as we have Swarm Yard out. Okay, so they make their tokens. That's cute.
Join the fight.
Okay, opponent. Anything else? Can we make our squirrels? Okay. Oh, that's right. I can't activate it right now. Okay. Cavern of Souls. On Squirrel. So for that, might as well do this now. Pump up all of our squirrels. Is this enough? Or did we get too far ahead of ourselves? Okay, 4 force. Swing here. Make another squirrel. Do they turn on? They do. Okay, their token goes on. Okay, opponents. They got to block everything, or they will lose. Oop. Oop, okay. Down to 4. We're close. But was what I did right there too far ahead of ourselves? We'll see. Flame, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon. Hey, what's up? Hello, my fire friend. Good afternoon, and how you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us. Preordain. Okay, looks like our opponent is trying to dig. They're trying to find an answer. I'm still surprised they haven't blown up the Swarm Yard yet. Or maybe that's because they really want to keep their mana open. Okay. Preordain. Did they find an answer? Although Disruptor Fluid unfortunately turns off Squirrel Girl. It's not the end of the world for us. Ooh, Wrath of God. Okay, so Swarm Yard does its thing. We still activate it. So it protects from Hurricane. Oh, wait, I forgot. Oh. Oh, okay, okay. I guess I kind of messed that up. Okay. It's fine, everyone. It's fine. We can still try to fight around it.
Ready arms.
That's right. It's Wrath of God, so it can't be regenerated. Wow, the one time that actually came back to bite us. Wow. Okay. Who would have thought these would have been relevant in 2026? I mean, color me surprised. Color me surprised. Okay, for now, Heraldic Banner coming in. Maybe? No, they got Mana Drain. Okay. Fine, opponents. Play the Trickster Elf as is. Pass here. So we get at least a creature out. As you know, I am okay, and I'm in Tier 4 Silver with Blight Goblins. Nice! Are you playing Goblins in the standard formats? That's cute, by the way. Because actually we put together a Goblins deck for standard, like, what is it, several months ago. Not sure if the deck is actually, you know, good, but I still put together something fun. I love goblins, by the way. Definitely my favorite creature type of all time. I'm a little partial to that just because we actually, my very first pre-con was a goblins deck. Way back in the olden times of the late 1900s, if you will. Okay, Demolition Field, okay. Opponents. Okay, we get a forest. Our opponent now is trying to start blowing stuff up. So be it, opponents. Okay. The Demolition Field us. They get their land. Standard? Okay. I kind of figured. Okay. Opponents. Anything else? Is that it? Oh man, we really could use a trample effect right now to push through the remaining points of damage. But right now, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have enough for Squirrel Girl to come in one more time. I don't know if that's enough. Dang, okay. So Squirrel Sanctuary does trigger off here. Pay the 1. Bounce it back. Okay, opponents. Is that all? Is that all? Ugh. Matches like this can be very, very frustrating because, you know, you get so close to the end, and your opponent barely manages to scrape by what they need to actually stop us. Okay, so they untap their lands. Field of Ruin gets untapped. Okay, Origin of Metal Bending. That's not horrible, but... how do we do this here? Squirrel Sanctuary. So bring back our squirrels. We're trying. Opponents. Fierce Guardian. Oh, wow. Okay, I forgot. This is actually legal also in competitive. That's tootables. Okay. Okay, blow away Origin of Metal Bending, since they can't do this unless it's at sorcery speed. So that means I can blow it up all in response. Okay, opponents, Disruptor Flute, going bye-bye. This means that Squirrel Girl can do her thing if this is gone. Oh, man. I realize now Wait, do we not have a... Well, we actually only have, like, one creature land in the deck. Maybe we should have put it in, like, another one. Something to think about later on. Okay. Any case here. This is taking a little bit longer than I would like to. So I think I'll jump back to, again, one unranked Brawl game just to wrap up today's stream, everyone. So after this is done, we'll do one more stream. Win or lose. But right now, our opponent is debating if they want their Disruptor Flute to survive. Okay. If we need to, also, we do have food in a pinch, which we can sacrifice to then hopefully generate some card advantage. Snapcaster, man. Now, opponents. Nah! Oh, lordy. So what, did they bring back Fierce Guardianship? See, this is why, again, like, I don't know if I feel comfy with making decks for the ranked, because once people start building their degenerate stuff, you can see it's just going to get really, really ugly. Okay, they mana drain us. Okay. So that means we can't blow up that. We sacrifice our food at this point now just to dig up something. Pay the 1. Okay, I guess we get the Fountain Port. We then sacrifice another token. So this can help us take out another piece here. Okay. Thornvault Forager. Okay. Gain Signet. No real value there. But it's that Teferi that's going to start drawing cards. This means that we're going to have a hard time fighting. Oh, they can... Okay, Pistol Tutor. Okay. Gonna give it like another turn or so, because at this point it's just going to be now me just struggling just to now barely survive, which is not very fun for content. Okay. So with that... Opponents? Opponent's still digging. Opponents. Don't keep me waiting too long here. Okay, extra turn spell. You know what? We're just cutting it now. We're gonna end the suffering while we can, everybody. I really don't want to deal with that. Okay. No, we did not have fun. Sad face. Okay, let's just jump back into one casual game, everyone. So win or lose. Win or lose. This will be our last one for today, everybody. Not that I don't want to play competitive Brawl, but Squirrels here is meant to do fun stuff. I realize now also we have to make a quick little tweak here, because I forgot that the deck is not legal. So this will be something that we have to explain a little bit later on. So from a legality standpoint, let's see. So if you play competitive Brawl versus regular Brawl, you'll get some stuff that is technically unpleasant. So for example, Ancient Tomb, you can only play in competitive. You can't play it in regular. So just FYI. But for now, let's see. What instead of can we get? I guess we'll put back the Arid Archway. It should be the only thing that was there. Okay. Okay, Squirrel's upgraded. It's okay. So this is it, everybody. Win or lose. No matter what we do here, this will be our final one for today, everybody. So I appreciate you all who have been watching for today. If you are enjoying the content, whether you like watching me get completely wrecked all the time with my budget decks, or if you are enjoying whatever we do, show some love. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, deck techs, live streams, and so much more. If you want to support me again month to month, we do have a Patreon that we have, as well as a members-only playlist of videos that are exclusive for viewers out there that don't get posted to the regular channel. So check those out if you can. We really appreciate you guys with that support. But even if you don't, for free, you can also join the Discord. And all links for all of these that I'm mentioning right now will be located in the details of the live stream once we're done in just a little bit. Whether you're watching live on X or Instagram, Twitch, or YouTube, all of it will be there, everybody. Your support will help keep this channel going. And of course, as always, all links will be located in the details below. Okay, but for now, hit the forest and pass the turn. All right, so we have a Worldly Tutor. So we can use that to get out a Mana Dork if we need to, which can be helpful. All right, Worldly Tutor. So for now, let's get out... We need something to make sure we can keep this game plan going. Let's see. So where's our Mana Dork at? There we go. Okay, Thorn Vault Forager. So this is mostly just to make sure we can get ramping quick. Okay, Luminar Aspirant. Okay, so opponent's going to be playing with Anti-Venom. Trying to figure out how we're going to get through that, but we'll try to find a way. Okay, Furdock Core. So now we have better ramping. We'll have Squirrel Girl coming out in just a moment. Okay, Luminar Aspirant doing it swinging. Annoying, but not the worst. Night Sweet's Revenge is not too shabby either. For now, let's get out the Squirrel Girl. Okay, so she makes her token. So we get one token out of that. Source of Plowshare. Okay, it's fine. We can fight through that. 4 cards opponents. Angelic Destiny. Ooh. That might mean we might be ending this faster than I thought. Okay, so is there any way out of this, or are we dead? Knight of Sweet's Revenge. Make a food token. Squirrel Mob. Tap and eat. Get a 5/5 squirrel. Go to 24. Okay, we're trying. We are trying. Okay, Sparring Regimen. They learn, so they just discard a card. Okay. They attack. Okay. Go to 8. Oh boy. This might be over here before I know it. Many partings. Make a food off of that. Play there. Squirrel Girl does come out, which is nice, but that's not going to be enough for us. Okay, and we lose. Aw. That's not how I wanted to end the stream. That wasn't very fun at all. Toots. Okay, well, either way, folks, I still have to get going. So this unfortunately was the last one for us, as I mentioned. So out of fairness, that's going to be it for today, everyone. Man, we didn't win as much as I thought we were going to. We only got actually 2 wins out of the whole thing. We were just stumbling quite a bit there. But we'll still talk about the deck overall. So what'd you think, everybody? Do you like squirrels? Do you enjoy squirrels? Would you play the deck in any way, shape, or form? So as far as this goes, and I think we're just going to have to address literally the squirrel in the room. I enjoyed the deck, and I like what Squirrel Girl is doing, but I honestly think she is better in the 99. And the reason for that is you miss out on a lot of good squirrels by just going mono green. You can do a mono green deck built around here, but we're going to probably have to refine it a little bit more. And not to mention, I think this deck would be a lot better in actual paper. In Arena, we're very, very limited to the squirrels we can pick in mono green. So we actually do not get the best of the bunch. Again, it's not to say Squirrel Girl is bad. She is good. She can definitely do some crazy things, but you need a lot of support around her. So I think the better option would have been maybe to focus on just tokens and just protecting her until you can actually get the token generation going to just go super crazy. Keep in mind, so if we cut out Squirrel Girl for just a moment and we look at others, So if you put her in the 99 of others, this is what you have instead that you can work with here. Okay, so here's what you have. If you choose, then the obvious option, if you actually want to be competitive, and I'll be honest, like if I was going to get super serious, I probably would pick Chatterfang. Chatterfang, of course, is going to be the better squirrel commander for, you know, all the reasons. He is good. So you can use him instead and then put Squirrel Girl into the 99. By doing that, you have access to cards like such as Ravenous Squirrel, which can give you a lot of card draw by sacrificing all of your extra stuff for value. You have cards like Vine Reap Mentor here for food stuff. You can do Camellia here, the Seed Miser, so you can also use her as a another squirrel commander. But again, gives all of your squirrels menace, which makes it a lot easier for you to push through damage, so you can try that as well. You'll get cards like Corpseberry Cultivator here, again, for foraging shenanigans. If you do like alchemy cards, which again, I'm not fond of, you can also use Yuru here, Acorn Scrounger, although he gets, again, stupid. But if you like it, that is an option if you like. And of course, you get access to Dray Keeper here, which can create for you more squirrels and also can help pump up your squirrels if you have the extra mana open. So these are options for you if you want to do more squirrel stuff. So personally, I would probably just say if you want to get serious, use Chatterfang and then move Squirrel Girl to the 99. That gives you access to black, and that means you have better removal, better options for you for burst mana, and again, sacrificing tokens for value. You get so much stuff by just doing mono, adding black to the deck. So just FYI, you don't have to do that, but if you want to go that route, you have that as an option if you want to play with squirrels, and maybe you like Squirrel Girl. But if you like her as the commander, there's nothing wrong with her. I think maybe if I was to redo the deck, most likely, even with the upgraded one, I probably should focus completely on the token plan and just ramp for days just to make sure you have enough mana to then get her to go off. Then use cards like Worldly Tutor, get out Craterhoof Behemoth, and then call it a day. Not that I'm saying that's a bad way to play the game. Just for me, it gets kind of boring. So I was just hoping that we could just combo off with Squirrel Girl. We got to do it at least once on the budget deck, so I'm happy with that. If nothing else, I'll take that for today, everybody. So if you do like the deck and you're interested in seeing what you can maybe take it for your own variation of it, like as always, I will leave a link for both the budget deck and the non-budget one once we're done with the stream in just a little bit, everyone. So hang tight. That will be updated with this in just a bit once the VOD is done. Now, before we go, as always, my true fire friends for sticking around this far into the video, let's give you a quick little sneak peek as to what's to come for the next couple of days. So hopefully, if we can get this done tonight, we'll have Iron Man here. Iron Man will be ready to go. This is also another combo deck that is built for standard, so that's actually going to be coming. So we'll try to wrap that up as quick as we can tonight. We're almost done, so I think we can squeeze it in tomorrow. So that'll be done. That'll be a fun one for you. Beyond that, we have a Hydra deck, so yes, we will be doing a villain deck around Hydra itself. So we got to do that. We actually have a lot more villains now thanks to the set. So we actually had a lot to work with here, so I actually have to cut a lot of things. But this should actually be good to go for the next live stream. Beyond that, we actually have, and I'm still working on it, we got to do a hero deck. So this one's going to be our 4th of July one. I haven't finished it yet, but obviously we throw in all the Captain Americas, and we'll throw in all the iconic heroes we can to make a fun hero deck out of that. So that should be ready to go for next Saturday once we get to 4th of July. There's a couple other ideas I'm still trying to play around with. I like what is it? Monica Rambeau / Photon can do. But I'm still trying to figure out the best way to make this work. I don't know if I want to make her as a go wide deck or a 60 card go wide deck. The jury's still out on that one. So I'm still trying to play around with that one. That's still a ways away. But that's otherwise all I have for now, everybody. We definitely do have some other decks we want to do. Oh, I forgot there's a quick Cavalcade deck. Maybe we might try this one again. I mean, I love me a good Cavalcade. So we're using this with a couple of the latest cards we added in Wingnut, of course. We have it, of course, Quicksilver. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to actually make the deck feel something different. But we'll see. The jury's still out on that one, everyone. We'll still play around with that one. But until then, that's all I have for today, everybody. So thank you again, as always, for being there for me, everybody. I appreciate all of you who have been here watching today's stream. So shout out to everybody that has been in the live stream. So Death by Vulture, Dan Splenda, Daniel 1090 GD there, MGG Hability, as always. Appreciate you guys for being there for me. Thanks again also for Flames and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. So appreciate you guys for being there. And those of you that are watching across my other socials, whether you're watching here on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, X, or what I missed there. Was that? No, I said them all right. X, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Yeah. So thanks again for watching me there, everybody. Replays again will be up across all channels wherever you watch it. So check me out wherever you'd like to. But I mainly am on YouTube and usually active on X. But of course, I pop into the Discord as much as I can, everybody. But otherwise, I got to get going, everybody. So I got to take care of some stuff now. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everybody. Keep playing with Marvel decks out there. And even if we may not be fond of this deck, give it a shot. I'm willing to, of course, and I think we can still find some fun stuff to do over the next couple of weeks. But until then, and until next week, everyone, when we do our next live stream, as always, I'll announce it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone, and have fun out there. If you did buy the packs, hopefully you cracked something good. So my final thing I do want to leave you with before we end today is going to be, as always, just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again next weekend, everybody. Later.